It's the end of a very long week. I'm sitting in the 30th row of a 747 from Dallas to Los Angeles. The captain has signaled our final descent. My seat back has returned to the upright position. My tray table has been stowed. I'm finally going home. When a gurgle under my seat buckle tells me that lunch is gearing up for a second appearance. A frantic search teaches me that Delta Airlines doesn't regularly restock seat pockets with sick bags. So I do the only logical thing I can think of, and try to MacGyver my Sky Mall catalog into a makeshift haversack. But before I can crease the outside edge, my body betrays me. Which means that I'm sitting there, wearing my stomach acid as a loose tuxedo, while the whole plane, including the hot girls across the aisle, whisper and gag, necks craned as we make our torturous descent into LAX, and then as the entire jumbo jet deplanes around me. A thought crosses my mind. How do you not restock the goddamn plane to stick out to your pocket bastards? I'm getting my plastic wings back! And then a second thought crosses my mind. I think this story is good enough for Cosmo. So lucky me for the life experience. Lucky no one I know will ever have to find out about this. Lucky the plane didn't crash. Lucky for planes in the first place. I mean, if I had thrown up on myself in a covered wagon, some settler would have been all like, "Hey! We broke this folk out back, and if you don't quit sulking and he'll push, might not be before this river, before nightfall, which case you're gonna smell mighty good at the Grizzlies." So lucky the atmosphere puts planes on its back. The air so thick it bumps against our ears, that's how we hear. Lucky there's so much carbon around. Lucky for granted. Granted has done big things for us. Lucky conditions on this planet were perfect for life cocktail to turn a couple of atoms into an amoeba, into a cheetah. Lucky that one monkey finally got his shit together and turned into a dude. Don't forget the vocal cords, the lungs. Lucky the opposable lungs, the disposable mans, the glands to make lanolin, limbs, dismantle ham radios and bands to make videos for jams that are just witty odes to brands. And lucky for that one reunion on Cape Cod where I first began to understand my father's side of the family. Some say, if you listen close in those old wooden hallways, you can hear the ghost of Woody Allen groaning at night. I'm not dead yet, you schmucks. The living, they gather around the dining room table, sharing, showing class, saying, "Lucky, lucky, lucky my ass. You call this lox? Freshwater, saltwater? Neither you lie. The salmon's so dry, it must be the kind that they catch in the sky. Oh, Stephen's health? Well, yes, they removed a tumor. However, that was the cancer's tumor. Yeah, cancers can grow tumors too, smart guy. Dr. Rubin removed the cancer's tumor. The original cancer is now malignant to the skin cell. They couldn't tell his mole because his vitiligo stole the pigment. He looked like an albino with 3 shoulders. He tried to dye himself back to normal in a bath of Coca-Cola, but now he's got dementia and he thinks he's Al Roker. Boy, a shot to Anthropoid, but hey, I can't complain. You know, he's better than Roker at forecasting rain. That's how they always end the story in my family. I can't complain. If Grandma, you just complained for 45 straight minutes without breathing or blinking. The nice girl's trying to take our drink order. If I could get a wording edgewise, I'd say lucky the stomach flu. Lucky that 2-month itch that I'd rather not talk about. Lucky because perfectly healthy is not a neutral state. Perfectly healthy is perpetual full-body orgasm. This is my father's family, and my complaining about their complaining is concrete proof that I'm one of them, and an unfair generalization of a proud people. Take my dad. Luckily, he never caught a zip gun ricochet in the face, but if you lean in close, you can see a little blue dimple on his chin from 4th grade, sometime in the 1950s, when, trying to figure out how to get ink into a ballpoint pen, he accidentally slammed a dick into his jaw, tattooing himself for life. And lucky he did, because that wasn't a ballpoint pen at all. It was a flagpole. 10-year-old Paul Norman Watsky was claiming that little patch of skin for himself and has held his ground, even as this unfamiliar man creeps up on 70 around him. I can see it in my dad's eyes every time he laughs at one of his own idiotic puns. Every time he laments the overbearing Jewish mother that made him want to tip out of his Manhattan apartment window like a potted plant. And lucky he backed away from the edge, and not lucky just because his reproductive equipment was the genetic key to my eventual kick-ass existence, but also because smiles are delinquent teenagers. They like to gather in large groups. They leave marks on the walls of your face to tell you of a life well lived. They're hard to get rid of, but once they're gone, you wonder why you pushed them away. You wander into their dusty old rooms at night and hold back tears at the edge of their bed, sit there, rocking back and forth, thinking lucky to bend in your box spring that sent two strong swimmers into the world as decent sons. So lucky San Francisco, lucky the lights over the harbor, lucky we're so young. Both of us, Dad, because time is like this million-mile wooden dock. And we're at the very end. The very young end. We're practically dangling our toes in the water. Even if you're 100 years old, you're still dangling. You'll shoot back, you're damn right I'm dangling. In all the wrong places. Completely missing my point because I just vomited in my lap in an overbooked jumbo jet. Sitting here smelling extremely human. But I still have my feet on the ground. So lucky we're not livestock. Lucky we're programmed to think babies are cute. Otherwise we'd ignore them and they'd crawl aimlessly in large packs. Into the ocean. It's how they float. America is a plump kid in husky overalls. I plan to live off the fat of the land. This country is a big cupcake straddling two oceans, and lucky it wasn't me and you and someone had to fight and die so we could rot our teeth on the frosting. This planet is made mostly of carbon and Teflon, and someday we'll slide off it like so much burnt stir fry. There's a lot that goes into a moss-covered rock. Lucky there's so many cool bugs under them. It sucks. They would eat a few by mistake at night. At least we don't crawl into spiders' mouths while we're sleeping. A web of impossible coincidences has crystallized into this moment. Look around you. History is afoot. This night smells like no other ever has or ever quite will. Hey! Don't hold your nose when you walk past me! I just martyred myself to give everyone on this plane an amusing party story. So you better thank those lucky stars. All 300 trillion of them. Lucky you. Lucky me. Thank you very much.